Tonight, we hit the halfway point of the 2021 high school football season for the Atlantic High School varsity football team, as they look for some continued momentum fresh off of the program's first regular season victory since 2019 and the first in the head coaching career of Jeremy Squatty Bell. Now back in the temporary friendly confines of Daytona Stadium, the Sharks welcome in one of the best teams in Florida's Division 1A in the Wildwood Wildcats, who are 2-0 and entering tonight's contest after a statement win of their own. Live from Daytona Stadium in Daytona Beach, Florida, a special Thursday night broadcast of Atlantic High School Athletics on MJT Sports Productions is on the air. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Turillo. Happy to have your company on a gorgeous Thursday night. Not many clouds and a beautiful sunset going on to listeners left here at the stadium. The first of back-to-back weeks with a Thursday home game here at Daytona Stadium as the Sharks continue district play next Thursday by welcoming in the Deltona Wolves. No other news of interest this week, so without further ado, let's talk football. The Atlantic Sharks enter the game with a record of 1-3, 1-0 in district play, and sits alongside Seabreeze at the top of 5A District 5 after being outscored 100-8 in their first three games. The Sharks roared back with a vengeance last Friday night, coming from behind twice and holding on late to beat Pine Ridge 26-24. Atlantic quarterback John Killingsworth finally showed the talent that landed him on the Daytona Beach News Journal's 10 underrated players to watch list at the beginning of the season. The junior signal caller ran well throughout the game, highlighted by a 45-yard touchdown scamper in the first half. Then, when the Sharks went down 17-13 in the second half, Killingsworth, then playing on special teams, took a blocked Pine Ridge field goal attempt back 80 yards the other way for a score. Killingsworth then capped off the night with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Jonquez Jamerson to put the Sharks up 2 scores from which they never looked back. One thing the Sharks will have to do if they want to continue their winning ways against Wildwood is limit the miscues on the offensive side of the football. 2 costly turnovers made the Pine Ridge game a lot closer than it probably should have been. A bad snap on 4th and 1 that stopped an Atlantic drive and gave the Panthers the ball inside the Sharks' 5-yard line, and a late pick 6 thrown by Killingsworth to bring Pine Ridge within 2 points. I spoke to Atlantic head coach Jeremy Squatty Bell to reflect on the good, the not so good from the win last week, and to get his thoughts on a tough Wildwood squad. I'm here with Coach Squatty before the Sharks take on the Wildwood Wildcats here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Daytona Beach. Coach, big win for you last week. Had to come from behind a couple of times against Pine Ridge. Your thoughts on the win?
Anytime you win, it was great. We gave them 14 points in the second half that they didn't deserve, so the game shouldn't have been that close. But our guys fought back and pulled one out, and I'm happy for that. They got to learn how to win.
Couple of injuries for you last week. You saw some people went down. Injury report, who's ready, who's not?
We're without Nate Davis. He's out for the season. He got a broken wrist. Then Marion Washington, number 3, he got a dislocated shoulder. He probably could have played tonight, but it's not a district game, so we didn't rush him back. And Kentuan Roy was also battling a little leg injury. He probably could have played tonight, but again, it's not a district game, so why rush it?
Little thoughts on your opponent, Wildwood, coming halfway across the state to play you guys, 2.5-hour drive, and they're a tough team, one of the tops in 1A. What do you have to do to get the win tonight and get a 2-game winning streak going?
Slow them down. They like to play fast. They're more of what you see in the Big 12. Spread it out, balls all over the place. We got to do a good job of matching their athletes with our athletes and getting some pressure on that freshman quarterback.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Although the Wildwood Middle High School is 4 classifications below Atlantic, sitting in the FHSAA Class 1A, the Wildcats should not be underestimated. Coming in with a record of 2-0, the Wildcats erased 3 decades of frustration last week, beating local rival South Sumter for the first time since 1990 with a score of 20-9, using their speed and effective run game to wear down the Raiders. The performance that was highlighted by a 69 touchdown yard run after a lateral to Vincent Brown Jr. and a 60-yard power run by Zachariah Poyser. The Wildcats eventually totaled 167 rushing yards in the win. Wildwood excels in many other sports as well, especially on the basketball court, where their girls and boys teams have won a combined 4 state championships in Class 1A since 2017, and the entire athletic program was awarded the Floyd E. Lay Sunshine Cup All Sports Award in 2020-21 school year, given to the best athletic program in Division 1A. Now that you know about the teams, let's get familiar with some of the names you'll be hearing throughout tonight's broadcast. This is the Week 5 edition of Who to Listen For. For the Atlantic Sharks quarterback, John Killingsworth is going to be the main man to listen for. The 5'11", 136-pound junior is 13 of 27 for 165 yards in the passing game with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. On the ground, he's got 49 carries for 274 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also took that blocked field goal back for a touchdown last week against Pine Ridge. On the defensive side, got to look out for number 16, Angelo De La Pena. The junior defensive tackle leads the team with 23 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks, all of those team highs. And the other backfield star alongside Killingsworth is running back Dennis Gaines. The 5'5", 165-pound senior has 71 rushing yards and a touchdown on the season, as well as 12 yards through the air. And for the Wildcats, their quarterback is Jonathan Harding. The 6'3", 180-pound freshman is 28 of 45 for 337 yards for 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The teams in front of me are just about getting ready to hit the field. The Wildcats will receive the opening kick. I'll quickly run through the rest of the players to watch for Wildwood. Vincent Brown Jr. is a running back and wide receiver, 5'7", 136 pounds. He has 6 carries for 111 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground, 5 receptions for 43 yards. Also on the offensive side of the ball is running back Varnell Brown. The 5'8" running back has 9 receptions for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, that's 9 carries for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. On the defensive side of the ball, there's linebacker Omari Smith, the 6'0", 175-pound player, 17 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack. That's 17 tackles, leads the team. I'll get to the keys to the game as we get through this opening drive as the teams are out there ready to go. It looks like Dennis Gaines, the running back, will also be playing kicker tonight. The Sharks have experimented with a couple of different options at kicker. Marion Washington has been the most consistent, but as you heard in the interview with Coach Squatty, he is unavailable tonight. Marion Washington is unavailable tonight. The Sharks are in their home silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal trim, teal stripe down the middle of the helmet, and the Block A logo on the sides. Wildwood is in their road, black helmets, white jerseys, royal blue pants, silver numbers, blue trim, and a blue Wildcat logo on the side of the helmet as well. I am not sure what the holdup is here. Everybody's ready. The Sharks are ready to kick off. The Wildcats are ready to receive, but all 4 referees are standing at midfield, and I don't think we have a football out there yet. So I will get to go through my keys to the game before we get started. For Atlantic, you got to not beat yourself. The Sharks gift-wrapped 14 points to Pine Ridge last week with a pick 6 and the turnover on downs inside the 5. Offensive opportunities will be limited with how good the Wildwood is at controlling the running game, so not giving them a head start is imperative. And on defense, you got to pressure the quarterback. Wildwood quarterback Jonathan Harding is only a freshman, but he does throw the ball very well in a spread offense, and forcing him into mistakes will be key to getting the Atlantic defense off the field. And for Wildwood, you got to establish the run, led by junior Vincent Brown. The Wildcats will use their rushing attack to lure the Sharks secondary to create easy throws downfield for Jonathan Harding. And on defense, you got to shut down Killingsworth. Atlantic's junior quarterback did it all last week, and the Sharks win. Shutting him down effectively negates about 60% of Atlantic's offense, so the Wildcats will look to force him to scramble early and often. That's the end of our pregame show. We are still awaiting the beginning of the football game. Apparently there is no football in play. Well, I guess we have some time. I'll go through some advertisements for you. As the official healthcare champion of Volusia County Schools, Advent Health is committed to providing championship caliber care with 4 hospitals, 4 urgent care centers, and 6 sports medicine and rehab locations across Volusia County. Advent Health is here to keep your student athlete off the sidelines and get them back in the game. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Want to get your business on the air in front of the Atlantic fans? If you would like to advertise via MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play internet radio partner of Atlantic High School, as a sponsor of Atlantic Athletics, please email brand new athletic director for Atlantic High School, Shakia Brown. That's smbrown at volusia.k12.fl.us. And we welcome Mrs. Brown to the Sharks full-time as the new athletic director. We are still looking for a football anywhere on the football field here at Daytona Stadium. We will take a quick break and step aside and be right back. When we do, it's kickoff between the Sharks and the Wildwood Wildcats. You're listening to MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Well, just as I put the headset down, the ball was delivered to Dennis Gaines, who will be doing the kicking. The ball is at the 40-yard line. The Sharks will be kicking right to left here on this gorgeous Thursday evening in Central Florida. Wildcats, two receivers all the way back at the 15-yard line to receive the kick. And the Wildcats are wearing reflective silver numbers on white jerseys tonight. So if I'm a little slow on the draw on who has the football when the Wildcats have the ball, please forgive me. All right, now we're ready to go. As Dennis Gaines looks to address the football, he waits for the whistle. We are still patiently waiting. There we go. Dennis Gaines addresses the football, kicks it. It's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line up to the 30, 35, 40, and run down at the 39-yard line. That's where Wildwood will start their opening possession of the game. Here comes freshman quarterback Jonathan Harding. He's 28 of 45, 337 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions through 2 games. And a lot of that came in week number 1 when they blew out Halifax Academy up here at Ormond Beach, 61-0, and that kind of boosts the offensive numbers for the Wildcats. Harding, with one running back as the deep back, I am assuming that is Vincent Brown Jr. 4 wide, 2 to each side. One man comes in motion left to right. That's Ricky Harding. It's going to be a handoff to Brown right up the middle to the 40, pushing forward to the 44-yard line, and a nice 5-yard carry on first down. And that will set the Wildcats up 2nd down and 6. They only got 4, as the starting field position was moved forward to the 40-yard line, not the 39. Second down and 10, same formation, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, or should be 2nd down and 5, or from the 45, or just shy of it. Harding going to go down the field, and it's going to be caught. A one-handed catch at the 45-yard line of the Sharks and hauled down inside the 45, close to the 30. They're going to spot him at the 32. That was Varnell Brown. We mentioned him in the pregame. The freshman wide receiver hauls in about a 30-yard catch to flip the field. Wildwood moves quickly. We mentioned that Coach Brown would say they go up-tempo like a Big 12 offense. Time stops to move the chains. The ball spotted for Wildwood at the Sharks' 32. First down and 10. Varnell Brown comes in motion left to right. The snap, hand off to Brown Jr. looking for a lane, won't find one, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and not a whole lot more, as Angelo De La Pena was in there to break it up, and it's 2nd down and 10. De La Pena is the big man in the middle at defensive tackle for the Sharks. 23 tackles. He leads the team in that respect. 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play. Still 2 to each side. Ball spotted right hash as the Wildcats move left to right. Varnell Brown comes in motion again. Snap to Harding, and flags all over the place. Somebody must have jumped. And we await the White Hats' decision, and it's going to be against Atlantic. So the first penalty of the game goes against Atlantic for a false start. So instead of 2nd down and 10, it'll be 2nd down and 5. Sun just beginning to dip below the trees off to listeners' left. It's painting the sky a gorgeous combination of pink, blue, and yellow. 2nd down and 5. Harding takes the snap, drops back to pass, going to air it out down the left-hand sideline, going toward the end zone. It's caught, and it's incomplete. It was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the goal line. He had to make a leaping grab attempt as the ball was over his head, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5 at the 27-yard line. That's what Wildwood likes to do. I like to spread out the field and either run up the middle or air it out down the sideline. And we got a balloon. One of the homecoming balloons has lifted off from its holder. There's a second one actually going up. Now on 3rd and 5, they're going to set up the screen pass to the left. 2 Sharks are running down the receiver. That's Vincent Brown Jr. is running all the way back to the right. He's going to be tackled for a loss of 3. All the way back at the 35-yard line. A disaster on 3rd down for the Wildcats as the Sharks defense snuffs that one out. That'll be about a negative 7-yard gain for the Wildcats. 4th down and 13 now from the 35 of the Sharks going left to right. And they're not quite in field goal range, so the offense will stay on the field. 4th and 13 from the 35. Snap to Harding. He's immediately under pressure. He's going to have to get the ball away quickly. He's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked right at the 45-yard line as the Sharks defense got back to him. And it's a turnover on downs for the Sharks. Well, how about that? The defense has stepped up the last couple of games. Last week against Pine Ridge, they were really put in a couple of compromising positions with the pick 6 and then Pine Ridge having the ball inside the 5 for one of their drives in the second half. They really played well other than that, holding Pine Ridge's rushing attack. And now John Killingsworth with 9:03 to go in the first quarter. The Sharks will have the ball at their own 35. Let's see how the offense likes to work. Remember, they've abandoned the wing tee for a spread look of their own in the last couple of games, and they're in that now. 3 to the left, single right. It's going to be a run up the middle. Dennis Gaines, nice hole up to the 33-yard line, or excuse me, the 37-yard line. Falling forward to the 39 is Dennis Gaines on 1st down. He's been an excellent complement to Killingsworth in the backfield, which now teams have to deal with 2 carriers of the ball. You know, more times than not, Killingsworth pulling that ball out of the belly of his receiver and running around the edge. But that time he gave it to Gaines. And he got about 4 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. Gaines had a 17-yard touchdown run last week against Pine Ridge, where he went right up the middle. I mean, there was no defenders between him and the goal line. Such was the blocking that good on that play. Now 2nd down and 6, 2 receivers each side. Ball spotted right hash. Killingsworth's going to take the ball, run around the right-hand side. Now look to throw. He's going to escape, going to dance in the backfield, going to be dragged down back at the 31-yard line. At that point, you got to get rid of the ball if you're Killingsworth. That's a broken play. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do on the first play, which is Killingsworth pulled the ball out of the belly of his running back and then tried to run around on the left-hand side, and the Wildwood defense was not having any of it. And it's going to be about a loss of 10. So from the 39 to the 31, so a loss of 8. 3rd down and 14. Killingsworth's going to have to throw the ball now. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 3 down linemen for the Sharks, but they get back to Killingsworth, who scrambles to his right. He's going to throw deep down the field. Got a man wide open, but it's picked off as the route was undercut and the ball was underthrown. Out of the 40, running left side 30, and the interceptor is going to be tackled inside the 30, and the Wildwood defense gets the ball right back. And that was Vincent Brown Jr. on the interception. He is the Wildwood do-it-all player. No. They thought there might have been a flag on the play, but there is not. So it is Wildwood ball. And with 7:19 to go, Wildwood would have the ball in plus territory at the Atlantic. The Chains do have no idea. I believe it's going to be the Atlantic 29-yard line, depending on where they spot the football. Now they're going to keep going. They're going to keep going close to the 20. There was a penalty then on the Sharks. It must have been a personal foul because the run ended just inside the 30. And they're going to spot the football all the way at the 14-yard line. So Wildwood has a very short field to work with, and we talked about not beating yourself in the pregame show, and this is exactly why. Second penalty of the day on Atlantic is a big one. And sets the Wildcats up deep in Sharks territory. Going left to right, 7:19 to go, first quarter in a scoreless game. Harding drops back, fires across the middle, wide open, one-handed catch for a touchdown. Vincent Brown Jr. again. No, that's Fernell Brown, excuse me, who grabbed it. 1 and 7 look very similar. I apologize. Verdell Brown, one play, 14-yard touchdown pass. From Harding to Brown. And they're going for 2. 7:12 to go. It's 6-0 Wildwood. Snap. They're going to pitch it all the way around to the left. Running to the 10 is going to be a double pass, but it's thrown way out of the back of the end zone and incomplete. That time it was Vincent Brown Jr. who tried the nice nifty double pass, but he way overthrew the receivers. So it is 6-0 Wildcats. We'll take a break. It's Wildwood 6, Sharks nothing. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Live from Daytona Stadium in Daytona Beach, Florida, this is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. The Wildwood Wildcats have come from about halfway across the state from just north of Orlando to the East Coast to come and play the Sharks tonight. They have a 6-0 lead courtesy of a 14-yard touchdown pass from Harding to Brown, and we are just about set to go once again. Kicker for Wildwood has the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. The kicker is Cesar Luna. And he boots it. It's going to be caught just past the 20, or 25 rather, and a fair catch called for and taken by the Sharks. So Atlantic will have the ball at their own, let's say, 24-yard line. We'll wait to see exactly where they spot it. He was close to the 25. And it is fair caught, so it advances to the 25. Thank you for the correction. So, Sharks will have the ball at their own 25-yard line, down 6-0. And really, before that interception, which is Killingsworth's fourth of the year, they had a decent ground game going with Gaines on that one play. Then they went backwards, forcing Killingsworth to chuck it up. And that wasn't a bad play. Killingsworth just underthrew the receiver a little bit, and it was picked off. 3 receivers left, single right. Sharks go right to left in the all-black with silver helmets. Killingsworth going to throw a dart over the middle. It's deflected and almost caught off a deflection. It was a rifle over the middle for a post route, and then somebody running a completely different route on the outside for the Sharks almost made that catch. That's Jonquez Jamerson, number 4 for the Sharks, that almost made that crazy catch off a deflection. Either way, it's 2nd and 10. I tell you, if Jamerson caught that ball, he would have been gone because everybody on Wildwood just stopped because the ball got deflected. Game of inches indeed. Jamerson saw it late. Reminded me kind of that play a couple of years ago, Auburn against Georgia, where the receiver caught the ball in a deflection and ran into the end zone to win the game for Auburn. 7:03 to go, second down and 10. Give to Gaines right up the middle. He's not going to go anywhere. In fact, he's going to lose a yard, going to lose 2 yards back to the 23-yard line. So for the second straight set of downs, it's third down and 10 plus. This will be third down and 12. As the Wildwood defense is now keyed in on that weak side run for Gaines. Wildcats employ 3 down linemen, normally 4 linebackers, and 4 behind them. Killingsworth runs into the huddle after running to the sideline to get the play from Coach Bell, as he's done every play all season long. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, third and 12 from the 23-yard line of the Sharks going right to left. Killingsworth with Gaines in the backfield, 3 down linemen for Wildwood. Killingsworth takes the snap. He's got time to throw. Now late pressure comes. He's going to heave the ball over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. He threw behind Jonquez Jamerson again. This time he would have been close to a first down if he'd made the catch, but the throw was behind him. And it's going to be fourth down and 12. Now, John Killingsworth has been doing the punting the last couple of weeks for the Sharks as well. 6:05 to go first quarter. They line up in a normal formation, and then Killingsworth will step back and pooch punt it. I can't imagine they're going to do anything else here. 2 receivers to each side. There is 1 deep man for the Wildcats, which means they've done their homework. Killingsworth does indeed punt it away. It's going to be caught. It's actually going to be bounced at the 45, be taken at the 40, up to the 45, 50, into Sharks territory, 40, and cutting back near the 35, and down at the 34-yard line. So in plus territory again for the Wildwood Wildcats. 19 yards on the return. And with 5:54 to go in the first quarter, the Wildcats will have the football once again. If you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, be sure to hit the like button on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Share the broadcast with other Sharks fans by clicking share or retweet. Thank you for supporting MJT Sports Productions and Atlantic Football. We're going to take a short break as the teams converge for a timeout. It's Wildwood 6, Sharks nothing. Wildcats have the ball next. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Back at Daytona Stadium after the water break, Wildwood leads the Sharks 6-0, and they have first and 10 in Sharks territory. Second straight drive for the Wildcats that's beginning in plus territory. At the 34-yard line of the Sharks, they go left to right, black helmets, white jerseys, silver numbers, blue pants. Harding drifts back, throws short across the left-hand side. It's caught inside the 30, down close to a first down, and it looks like they will get the first down close to the 20 and be spotted out of bounds at the 22-yard line. It was good by Harding to get the pass away because he had 3 Sharks in his lap almost immediately, and thankfully the release valve underneath was open. First and 10 for Wildwood at the Sharks' 22-yard line, approaching the space where they scored the touchdown on their previous possession. 3 receivers right, 1 left, ball spotted left hash. Harding in the gun. And it looks like a timeout will be taken by Atlantic. So we'll go back to a break. 5:18 to go first quarter. It's Wildcats 6, Sharks nothing. Wildcats knocking on the door. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. More balloons are flying away from the homecoming balloon row as Harding got nailed as he lets it go, and the ball is incomplete on 1st and 10 from the Sharks 22. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium. And the Sharks have been getting pressure back to Harding. On the previous play where he threw the first down on this drive, he had three defenders right there with him when he let the pass go, and then he got nailed as he let a short pass go. That time it fell incomplete. 2nd down and 10 from the Sharks 22, going left to right. Harding takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and not a lot of room to run for Vincent Brown Jr., and it's only going to be about a 2-yard gain up to the 20, 3rd down and 8. There was a very big hit by a Sharks linebacker. I believe it was Jarius Hawkins. And I am almost shocked it wasn't called for a late hit. But it is 3rd down and 8 right at the 20-yard line. 3 right, single left. Harding back to pass, pressured, has to scramble to his right. He's going to throw over the middle. There's a wide open receiver at the 15, trying to move left side of the 10, gets a block, cuts it up to the 5, fighting for the pylon. He's going to be out of bounds at the 1-yard line. There is a flag down in the backfield, so we will see what that is. I believe that was Simeon Bennett who made the catch for the Wildcats, but it is coming back. So 3rd and 8 will become 3rd and 18, I believe. Apologies tonight for no crowd noise. I did not have access to a crowd microphone. I'm not in the radio booth here at the stadium. I'm out in the general press area, as WNDB is also here covering tonight's game. And it'll be a big penalty. 15 yards sets the Wildcats all the way back at the 36-yard line. So 3rd and a country mile. Got to get to the 12. They're at the 36. 3 right, single left. Harding takes the snap. He drops back. He's got pressure in his face. He's just going to dump it off to the 40, to the 35-30. Spin move gets him to the 15, to the 20, to the 25-20, and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That was a very impressive run after catch by Vincent Brown Jr. Fourth down and 8, so they gained the exact number of penalty yards they needed back. And it is 4th down. Once again, 3 right, single left, ball left hash. Let's see what the Wildcats draw up here with head coach Vincent Brown Sr. Wildcats were going for it on 4th down. They didn't get it the first time they had the ball. Harding rolls to his right, fires complete inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Excellently designed play for a 1st down. 4th down conversion sets up 1st and goal for the Wildcats. They'll mark the receiver out right at the 10-yard line. 3:06 to go, 1st quarter. Clock ticking down quickly away. Wildcats looking to double their lead or better. Hand off to Brown up the middle, looking for a lane to the 5, dragged down to the 3, and that's where they'll spot him after a gain of 7. That was the 6th play of this drive already, matching the longest drive of the game so far. That was the opening drive for the Wildcats when they went 6 plays and then had a turnover on downs and gave the ball back to the Atlantic at the 35-yard line. Atlantic substituting a defensive lineman. I believe that's John Wyman, who's just checked in on the D-line. Three right, single left, Brown in the backfield behind Harding. From the 3-yard line, Harding going to hand to Brown, and Brown is swarmed under back at the 7-yard line, and he's just going backwards from there. There have been moments of brilliance from the Sharks' defensive line so far tonight, and that was one of them. Loss of 4, so it'll be 3rd down and goal, and a timeout is going to be called by Wildwood. 3rd down and goal with 1:49 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a short break and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. It will be 3rd down and goal for the Wildwood Wildcats. Attacking the end zone to listeners right. They're at the 7-yard line. They're bringing a little bit of a jumbo package in here. Bringing 3 receivers bunched up to the right. Harding the snap. He's going to throw towards the goal line. He's going to be caught at the 5. Trying to get around the edge into the end zone. Touchdown. Varnell Brown, his 2nd of the night. And the Wildcats double their lead. It's now 12-0. There are no flags on the field. That will stand. Let's see if the Wildcats go for 2. Kicker sophomore Caesar Luna was 5 for 7 on field goal or extra point attempts rather against Halifax in the game they won 61-0 to open up the season. So they are going to go for 2. Oh no, they faked going for 2. Now they're going to scramble the lineup in the kicking formation. Luna with Brown the holder. Brown bobbles the snap, and he's just going to cover it up as Atlantic picks up the football. And the man who picked it up is wrestled down at the 15-yard line, so that's no good on another 2-point conversion attempt. So the 2nd straight touchdown pass from Harding to Varnell Brown results in a 12-0 lead for the Wildcats. We'll be right back. 30 seconds, and the Sharks will have the ball. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Back at Daytona Stadium, Michael Trillo with you here for MJT Sports Productions. The Wildwood Wildcats have a 12-0 lead after a touchdown. It's going to be a squib kick to the 30-yard line. The Sharks recover up to the 35, running right to left, trying to gain a zone. Going to get to the 36-yard line on the return, and that's where the Sharks will have it. After an opening drive interception by Killingsworth, the Sharks then went 3 and out on their second drive. Haven't had a lot on the offensive side of the ball. There's 1:37 to go in the first quarter, and the Wildcats have taken advantage of 2 very short fields. They scored from the 34-yard line on the last drive of the Sharks, and they started at the 14 after the interception. Let's see what the Sharks get up to now. They're at their own 36, silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers. Killingsworth with now Jamoris Rittman alongside him. Gaines not in the ball game. Rittman is, Killingsworth's going to keep the ball, try to get up the middle. He gets to the 40. He gets into the open field, and he's going to be drilled, and he coughs up the football at the 45-yard line, and the Wildcats have it. Just when you thought the Sharks were going to get some offensive momentum, it was an excellent run between the tackles by Killingsworth, but then he got drilled at the 45, coughed up the football, and just after a one-play drive, encompassing 7 seconds, the Wildcats are back on the field with their third straight possession starting in plus territory at the Sharks' 46-yard line. Looks like a timeout is being called. It's going to be a timeout against Atlantic, who just have not been able to catch a break so far tonight. Second timeout of the half, charged to the Sharks. Sharks fans, football season is finally back, and you can catch the action from the gridiron on MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play home of your Atlantic Sharks. Be sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, all at MJT Sports Productions, so you never miss a moment of the action. This is Thursday night game, so no other Volusia Flagler teams in action tonight, but there's a bunch of big games tomorrow. New Smyrna Beach hosts Eustis. Seabreeze and DeLand is a big matchup if they could play, because DeLand's only played one game this year. Last week, their game was canceled because of unplayable field conditions up at Spec Martin. Seminole at Mainland will be here at the stadium, and if I wasn't working, I'd probably come and just see that as a fan, because that's a dynamite matchup. The reigning 8A state champions against Mainland, who's always a very good team. Spruce Creek and FPC actually might be sneaking in there for game of the week. That's a really tough matchup for the Hawks, as the FPC Bulldogs hung with Seminole last week for a bit before running out of gas in the second half. All right, Wildwood is on the field. They start at the Sharks' 46-yard line, going left to right. We're still in the first quarter. 1:31 to go in it. And they already have a 2-touchdown lead, trying to make it 3. This is the third straight drive, starting in Atlantic territory. Coach Squatty Bell, is talking to the white hat referee right at the 50-yard line, and now he will back up off the field. So now here we go. From the 46-yard line, we're still waiting for the referees to get in position, and now they are. So the line's set. Only 3 down linemen for the Sharks. Linebackers playing well back. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Brown. He cuts around the outside, gets to the 40, breaks free, 45-30, 35-20 on the sideline, 15-10, and runs out of bounds close to the 10-yard line. An impressive run for Vincent Brown Jr. The Sharks looked to have him dead to rights of the backfield, but he bounced outside, got a block, and continued to just rumble down the field to set up the Wildcats in business again. They're now at the 11-yard line. $1:20 to go in the first quarter. High snap corralled, but the exchange is bad, and Brown gets buried in the backfield by the Sharks. That was a bad snap, as it was up by the face of John Harding. That's going to be about a 4-yard loss back to the 15-yard line, and it'll be second down and 14. Wildwood can get a first down inside the 1, but you feel from here they're just going to go to the end zone. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. They do have to snap it one more time. Three left, single right hash. Harding going to set up a screen to the left-hand side, to the 10, running left, to the sideline, to the 5, pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That screen worked well for Wildwood last week as it got him a touchdown against South Sumter, and it almost got him one there. And now second down and 3. Third down and 3. So that was Varnell Brown who made the catch. Third down and about 2 from the 3-yard line. Harding, another high snap. He corrals it. He throws across the middle. Easy pitch and catch for a touchdown, Wildwood. and it's a 3-score game in the first quarter with 2 seconds left to go in it. That was easy as you like on a quick slant right across the middle, and nobody covered the slot receiver, and it's 18-0 Wildcats as they're set up. Well, they're set up to go for 2, but they're in the same formation that they faked going for 2, then tried to kick the field goal that was blocked, or the extra point that was blocked on the last possession. The ball is snapped to the left, and it's a 2-point conversion. So that funky formation where they flex everybody all the way to the left hash works good. And Jeremiah Colbrooks, I'm being told, is the man that took it in. So only 3 plays, 46 yards, and it is 20-0 Wildwood. We'll take a break and be right back. The Sharks will have possession at the beginning of the second quarter when we come back. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. .3 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Sharks down 20-0 to the Wildwood Wildcats, and the Wildcats have been gifted some excellent starting field position. They've started, after their opening drive, which ended in a turnover on downs, they've started at the Atlantic 14, 34, and 46, respectively, on their 3 short touchdown drives. That last one only 3 plays covering 46 yards. Luna gets set to kick it away for Wildwood. He does address the football with his right foot. It's going to be caught close to the 25, and it's going to be fair caught, so the ball will come out to the 25-yard line. As I mentioned in the opening, Wildwood is coming off a fantastic program victory. They beat local rival South Sumter for the first time since 1990, 31 years. So it's their first victory against Sumter in the lifetimes of all of their players, in my lifetime as well. Now, I graduated from Seabreeze, and I know the futility that we've had against Mainland over the years, but at least I was alive to see the last time Seabreeze beat Mainland. I was actually at Seabreeze when the last time that the Crabs beat the Buccaneers. Dating myself just a little bit. We wait the Atlantic Sharks to come out of the field. It'll be the start of the second quarter. So the Sharks will return from left to right. The Wildwood Wildcats are set up to kick away left to right, so they're going to have to move to the other side of the field. Now they're making the Sharks go all the way and return the kick right to left. And now they're going back left to right. So I think what Coach Bell convinced the referees of is I think there was something like 2.3 seconds left to go in the first quarter. But I think there's still a little bit of confusion up here about what's happening, but we think the clock ran on the 2-point conversion when it shouldn't have, and the ball came out. And so we will start the second half of action with the ball on the 25-yard line for Atlantic. Second straight time they've started from their own 25. Second time they started from their own 25. They started from their own 36 on their last drive with which was one play and the fumble. 12 minutes to go, even in the second quarter of play. Killingsworth and Gaines in the backfield, 2 receivers each side, 3 down linemen for Wildcats. Dennis Gaines going to try to run around the left-hand side. He has a lane to the 30, and he's going to be hit hard at the 34-yard line. It's going to be a gain about 9 yards. Excellent run by Dennis Gaines around the left-hand side. They really love that weak side run for Dennis Gaines, and he has speed when he can get to the open field and get a block like he did that time, but he took a crunching hit from a secondary member of the Wildwood Wildcats. I believe that was Courtney Patterson, the corner, who came up and laid the hit. 2nd down and 1 from the 34-yard line of Wildwood. Killingsworth takes the snap, he hands to Gaines, cuts it back, won't get anywhere, barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, and in fact, he lost a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 2. And right there, the Sharks just tried to run right up the middle and get the line to gain, and their offensive line was bulldozed by the D-line of Wildwood, who's making some substitutions now. I see Emmanuel Weeks, the junior defensive lineman, 6'0", 240, on the left side of that trio on the defensive line for the Wildcats. He bullied the right guard of Atlantic on that last play. Now 3rd and 2. Killingsworth, the snap goes off. It just flies past Killingsworth's hands. Nobody moves. And I don't see a flag. I don't see that anybody called timeout. They're just going to put the ball back down and let Atlantic snap it again. Oh, no, they are going to move the Sharks back for a false start. I didn't see a flag, but the center referee called for the false start. So instead of 3rd and 3, it will be 3rd and 7. And that's the 3rd penalty on Atlantic. And no penalties on Wildwood so far. Very clean game from the Wildcats. Now 3rd and 7 from the 33 of Atlantic, going left to right. Killingsworth is going to take it himself right up the middle. Look for a lane. He got one to the 30. He's to the 35, and he's going to be barged down very close to the 1st down. It will depend on the spot. It looks like he is a tad short, but we'll see where they spot it. And they are going to move the chains, so 1st down. John Killingsworth flexed 5 receivers out there on a quarterback run all the way, draw up the middle, and Killingsworth is down on the field with some athletic trainers and Coach Bell around him. And that would be the biggest loss of the year for Atlantic. We mentioned, or Coach Bell mentioned to me in our interview, that we've lost a couple of players. Unfortunately, Nate Davis, the standout return man at running back, who had the opening score of the season for the Sharks, that kickoff return against Matanzas. He's out for the season with a broken wrist. Kentwan Royal is out for tonight. Marion Washington, the best wide receiver that the Sharks have, is out for tonight. So now with Killingsworth on the sideline, he stood up and walked off the field under his own power. He did miss some snaps due to injury in the opening game of the season against New Smyrna Beach, but did recover to finish the game. But Killingsworth looks like he just kind of got that wind knocked out of him. He's over at the Gatorade station getting a drink. Here is freshman Kwasi Kawaku now in at quarterback for the Sharks. 1st and 10 from right on the 35-yard line, going left to right. Kawaku with Dennis Gaines in there. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Now 1 comes in motion now, and Twins 2 and 2. Kawaku takes the snap, runs left. He gets undercut after a gain of only 1 to the 37-yard line. Kawaku doesn't throw the ball particularly well. Just 1 completion in his snaps at backup quarterback so far. So expect a lot of running from Kawaku and also from Dennis Gaines, and maybe some jet sweeps to Jonquest Jamerson and others. So Killingsworth is back in the game, and so is Kawaku. So we'll see where they line up. Kawaku's going to go out wide at receiver, and Killingsworth is going to be back in at quarterback. Again, Twins, 2 receivers each side, ball right in the middle of the field, 2nd down and 9 from the 36-yard line of Atlantic. Killingsworth drops back to pass under pressure, has to roll to his right. He's going to be sacked all the way back at the 26-yard line. 2nd sack of the game against John Killingsworth, and that moves the ball all the way back. It's going to be 3rd and a country mile. 3rd and 20. Ball spotted at the 25, and they need to get to the 45. So now 3rd and 20 at the 25 after the 20-yard sack just about on Killingsworth. He takes the snap, rolls to his left, throws it back across his body as completion to the 25-30, space 35-40, 45-50, and out at the 45-yard line of Wildwood. What a nice design play by the Sharks as everybody ran to the left. One receiver just snuck back out the back door to the right and scampered all the way down the sideline. First down for the Sharks. And they are into Wildwood territory for the first time. 36 yards on the completion. Jamoris Rittman was in at running back, and he snuck out the back door and picked that pass up and ran with it. 3 right, single left. Ball left hash at the 36-yard line, or 46-yard line. Pass over the middle is almost intercepted. Killingsworth was looking for a slant pattern across the middle and just underthrew his receiver, and that almost was the second reception of the game for the Wildcats. That was just batted straight to the ground. Looked like Omari Smith was the man that batted it down. So 2nd down and 10 from the 44-yard line. I misspoke before that it was the 46. 44 of Wildwood. Hand off to Rittman running left. He's going to be run down by a host of Wildcats after a loss of about 4 yards. Actually, they're going to be very generous with the spot and say he only lost 3. So another 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 13, all the way back at the 47-yard line. Okay. It is Isaiah Toby in at running back for the Sharks. Killingsworth having to scramble backwards to his own 40. He's going to lay the ball out down the middle, and he's going to underthrow a wide-open receiver who would have had a first down at the 30. But Killingsworth running to his right, throwing back across his body, just did not have the arm strength to get it there, and it's going to be 4th down and 13. I couldn't tell who the receiver was, but he was wide open across the middle of the field, and if Killingsworth hits him in stride, that's probably a touchdown. Either way, it's 4th and 13. The Sharks could punt here. Isaiah Toby running on late into the backfield. And the Sharks look like they're very confused about personnel. Let's just hope they have 11 men on the field and not any more. A lot of movement going on there. Killingsworth takes the snap. He's going to punt it. He's going to bounce at the 20. Recover to the 15. Up to the 30. It's Poyser with the ball. Poyser tripped up at the 40-yard line. And that is where the Wildwood Wildcats will have it. So a decent drive by Atlantic that time. 8 plays. Took up about half the second quarter clock. 6:36. Or 32, rather, to go in the second quarter. And the Sharks will have it, or sorry, the Wildcats will have it at their own 40. Harding, once again in the gun as he's been all night. Vincent Brown back there with him. Now Brown motions onto his quarterback's right hip. Snap to Harding. Stands in the pocket. Clean pocket. Throws way down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. Excuse me. We had a man running there in double coverage, and it was knocked away incomplete. So now 2nd down and 10 from the 40. And a timeout is going to be called for a water break. So we'll take a quick water break with the players on the field. Take 30 seconds and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. 6:24 to go in the first half when we return. Wildwood on 2nd down and 10. It's going to be around the right-hand side, close to a first down near midfield. And the ball will be spotted just past the 50, so move those chains for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats will have the first down right at midfield, leading 20-0 here. Just under 6 minutes to go first half. Try to increase their lead before the break. 3 and 2, 5 receivers. One man comes in motion, fakes the jet sweep. Harding going to step up in the pocket, roll to his right, now run. Takes off and gets close to the 45-yard line down at the 44. And it'll be a gain of 4 as Harding scrambles. He doesn't do that a lot, does Jonathan Harding. But he saw nothing open downfield and decided to go for it. So now 2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4 on the quarterback scramble. Bunch formation, 3 receivers left very close to the offensive line. Harding, high snap near his mask. He rolls to his right. He's going to fire deep down the field. Man wide open at the 30-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the 29. Wildwood and the spread offense moving the ball very easily. Kamari Dickens made the catch. Now 1st and 10. They spot the ball at the 30. After that 20-yard pass completion. Harding off a handoff running left. Here's Brown. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped after a very short gain of just 1. Oh, no, a gain of 4. A flag does fly in late. He got up to the 36-yard line. And let's see what this penalty marker is. I didn't see anything overt. It will be a hold on Wildwood, so we'll back them up. That is the first penalty of the night on Wildwood. There's only 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. A very disciplined game so far by the Wildcats. They'll move the ball all the way back to the 46-yard line. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So it'll be 1st down and 16. Ball spotted left hash. 3 receivers in bunch formation near the line of scrimmage. Faking the handoff is Harding. He rolls to his right. He's going to launch the ball deep down the field. It's a man wide open to the 5 and walking into the end zone for a Wildwood touchdown. Jonathan Harding has an arm. He just took 3 steps to his right and launched it all the way to the 5-yard line, and there was nobody between the receiver and the end zone. Zachariah Poyser made the catch for the touchdown. And the Wildcats are lined up to go for it. They'll go for 2. Snap to Harding, flags fly, and it looks like Wildwood would have to back up this 2-point attempt 5 yards. Well, this is the best passing attack that the Sharks have faced so far this season. And actually, there was offsides against the Sharks, so it'll be a 2-point conversion attempt from the 2. Harding throws it right to the goal line, touchdown, or excuse me, 2-point conversion, Varnell Brown. Oh, no, excuse me, that was Lorenzo Simmons. And it is 28-0, Wildwood over the Sharks. We'll take a short break and be right back with 4:10 to go in the first half. Luna sets a kickoff for the Wildwood Wildcats, now leading 28-0 over the Atlantic Sharks, courtesy of a 35-yard touchdown pass from Harding to Zachariah Poyser. It's going to be a short kick, fielded at the 30, running left side 35, looking for a blocker, trying to get to the edge 40, and it'll be decent starting position for the Sharks at about the 44-yard line. Well, Jonathan Harding was coming into the game, had 337 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He already has 4 touchdown passes in the first half tonight, so he's doubled his touchdown pass total from the first 2 games here in the first half. 4:01 to go first half, and the Sharks will take over at their own 43. Killingsworth in the gun, 3 left, single right, ball spotted right hash. Dennis Gaines in the backfield with Killingsworth. He takes the snap, he hands to Gaines. Gaines looking for a lane, trying to run to the outside. He's going to be he's going to survive. He's going to cut back to the 35, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 38-yard line. So it would have been a loss of about 10, but he ran about 15 yards for a 4-yard loss, so it's second out and 14. Anytime the Sharks have tried to stretch runs to the outside, the Wildcats have been all over it. Where they've been most successful is just going up the middle. Second down and 14, ball at the 38-yard line of Atlantic. They go left to right, 3:07 and counting to go. First half. Killingsworth fakes the handoff, going to throw over the middle. It's going to be incomplete off the hands of his receiver. Simeon Bennett was in coverage, and maybe just a little bit to force the ball off the hands of the intended receiver. It would have just been a short curl underneath. And now third down. And 14. Two receivers each side. There's a couple of safeties for Wildwood away back at the first down marker in Wildwood territory. Killingsworth takes the snap, Rolls right, throws down the sideline, and he overthrows his intended receiver, and he would have had a first down. But it sailed into the Atlantic cheerleaders all the way about 10 yards past the sideline. And now it's 4th down and 14. That was Kawasi Kawaku, who was the intended receiver. And apparently there was a very obvious offsides from the chatter going on around here in the press box. I didn't see it, but they didn't throw it. Killingsworth punts it away. It's going to be a short punt, bounces at the 45, going to be picked up at the 35. Lane up to the 50, and a speedy Wildwood returner. A flag comes in, and he's hit to the Atlantic 45-yard line. We'll see where the flag is. 2:36. And the Atlantic drives so far have been interception, punt, fumble, punt, punt. It's not been a good day for the Atlantic offense. 2:36 to go first half, and it's 28-0 Wildcats. And it looks like it will be holding, I believe, against Wildwood. Let's see. Blocking the back against Wildwood. So that return that would have set the Wildcats up in Sharks territory at the 45 will bring them back to their own 45. Three left, single right. Harding is going to hand the ball to Brown, trying to break out to the left. He does. He gets a block. He gets to the sideline, 50 to the 45, and he's going to dance out of the 44-yard line for a first down and a 12-yard pickup. That was Colbrooks. Excuse me, not Brown. So Jeremiah Colbrooks moves the chains for the Wildcats. And Colbrooks, I believe, remains back there in the backfield. They'll hand the ball off to Colbrooks. Oh, no, Harding keeps it. He's going to run around to the right. He's going to get a block, get to the 40, trying to get to the sideline, and he'll just get to the 40-yard line, so only a gain of 3 on the second run of the day by Harding. Looked like he was going to hand that ball off to Jeremiah Colbrooks, running left to right. But Harding kept it. Looked like he wanted to throw, but then just scampered for what he could get, which was a gain of 3. Second down and 7, right at the Sharks' 40-yard line. 2:06 to go in the first half. Harding with 4 receivers, takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks to throw, still looking. He throws the ball way down the sideline and is incomplete as the intended receiver, Allen Best, was out of bounds. Could not keep the foot in. Oh, excuse me, that's Colbrooks again. Colbrooks out of the backfield running routes, and he could not keep his feet in bounds, and it's 3rd down and 7. Third and 7 from right on the 40. Harding takes the snap. This time rolls to his right, fires down the field, and if that's caught, it's a first down. It is. A dart right along the sideline that's caught at the 30-yard line, gain of 10 for a first down. And the clock stops with 1:51 to go in the first half. From the 30, Harding going to hand the ball off. Colbrooks running around to the left, gets to the 20. In space to the 15, going to run all the way through, unopposed to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildwood. Jeremiah Colbrooks, a 30-yard scamper. And it is 34-0. And it will be a running clock if Wildwood gets either a 2-point conversion or a field goal. And it looks like they're going to trot Luna on to attempt the field goal. They are in that funky, swing gate formation. Everybody out to the left. Now they're going to come back to the middle and actually attempt to kick the ball. The kick is up, and it is good. So 35-0 Wildcats, and we have a running clock in the first half. Wildwood 35, Sharks nothing. And that time, Jeremiah Colbrooks took the ball, ran around to the left-hand side, got a block, cut it up right down the hash marks on the left middle of the field, and ran all the way in for the touchdown. 1:37 to go in the first half. We will take a break and be right back. Atlanta gets the ball next. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Atlanta going to get the football back down 35-0. 1:37 to go in the first half, and it's been all Wildwood tonight at the stadium as the Wildcats, for the second time in 3 weeks, have come to Volusia County and are all over a Volusia school. Beat Halifax 61-0 to open up the season. As Chris Brown for the Daytona Beach News Journal just pointed out to me, it is Wildwood Wildcats 96, Volusia County nothing. To be fair, I would like to see this team play like a Mainland or a Seabreeze or a Deltona. But right now, against the quality of opposition that Atlantic has faced, it is clear that there is a mismatch out here on the field. 5 games left for Wildwood on their season. They play for their home against Trinity Catholic, and then at PK Young, at the Villages, and then home for the last 2 games against Lake Weir, who Atlantic beat in the playoffs last year, 6-3 in overtime. And then they round out the year at home against Ambassadors Christian. Luna getting set to kick it off right to left. Minute 37 to go. He addresses the football with his right foot, sends it high into the sky, fielded at the 20. A return for the Sharks up to the 25-30, running right through the middle of the field and getting close to the 35-yard line, spotted at the 34. We will have a running clock in the second half now that the score difference is 35 points, but not right now.
Nope. If they score on this drive, we do not have a running clock for at least a few minutes of the next half.
Yeah, it has to be a 35-point differential.
Yeah, that's right.
1:28 to go. And the Sharks will start at their own 34. And they've only ventured into Wildwood territory once in this half. Sharks staying in the huddle a long time. Now they break the formation. And here's what we were used to seeing the first couple of weeks of the season. It's some wing T time for Atlantic. Let's see if they can get the power run game going. Killingsworth keeps it himself, and he's going to be spun down. Gain of only 1, maybe a gain of 2 up to the 36. Clock runs, minute 13 to go. And Atlantic, over the last couple of games, has really only run the wing T when they want to run clock. They did it right at the end of the game against Pine Ridge, when they wanted to run the clock out when they were up by 2, and then they ran wing T late in the game against FPC when they were down 42-0 to get out of there. Killingsworth takes the snap, rolls to his left, nowhere to go. He's going to be spun down back to the original line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line. And they don't have to snap the ball again to the Sharks. They can just head to the locker room as the clock is 20 seconds and counting to go till the half. And that'll be it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the half. Your score at the interval, it's Wildwood 35, Athletic Sharks nothing. We'll have a running clock in the second half, and you can hear it right here on MJT Sports Productions. When we come back, we'll take 15 minutes for halftime and be back with the second half. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Athletic Sharks football. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium here in Daytona Beach, Florida. We are just about to start the second half of action between the Wildwood Wildcats and the Atlantic Sharks here. Week 5 of the football season here in Volusia County. The Wildwood Wildcats lead Atlantic 35-0. It was a dominating first half for the Cats. 4 touchdown passes thrown by Jonathan Harding, and 1 touchdown run right at the end of the half by Jemiah Colebrook. Should be a lot of rotation on both sides in the second half. There will be a running clock. And Atlantic wearing their silver helmets, black jerseys, black pants, teal numbers, teal stripe down the middle of the helmet with the Block A logo on each side. Will be back to receive the kick on the left-hand side of the field. Wildwood in their black helmets, white jerseys, royal blue pants, silver numbers, blue trim, a blue Wildcat logo on the helmets for the Cats. And here comes their kicking unit led by kicker Caesar Luna. Next week, the Sharks will be right back here at home on another Thursday night game as it's a district contest against Deltona. They'll get some of their injured players back. Unfortunately not Nate Davis, their running back and return man. If you missed the opening of the broadcast, I talked to Coach Bell before the game, and he unfortunately said that Nate Davis suffered a broken wrist last week against Pine Ridge in the Atlantic win and will not return for the season. And that's very sad for Davis. He is a senior, and that's a tough way to end a career, especially when he was one of the better producers on offense for the Sharks, scored their opening point of the season with a kickoff return. Ball is in the air, fielded at the 30-yard line by the Sharks, and running backwards to the 27-yard line, and that's where Atlantic will start the third quarter. 11:49 to go in the third. Remember, the clock will run because there was a 35-point deficit. Let's see where they officially spot the ball. And they will start it at their own 28-yard line. Atlantic in the first half, well, it wasn't pretty on offense. An interception, a punt, a fumble, a punt, and a punt, and then that was the end of the and then they had the ball before the end of the half. John Killingsworth is out there, and they're in the wing tee, strong side to the right. Snap to Killingsworth. He's going to run straight ahead, look for a lane. Nothing doing. He's going to be wrestled down. Ball comes out. Wildwood picks it up. And no, they're going to whistle the ball dead before the ball came out. And it looks like Killingsworth got back to the line of scrimmage and not a yard more. Second down and 10. But as I said, Sharks against Deltona next Thursday. That's a district contest, really important because at least for now, the Sharks are still on top of their district, 1-0, with their win against Pine Ridge last week. They sit tied with Seabreeze as Seabreeze beat Deltona in overtime. Second down and 10. Killingsworth on a wing-back dive, handoff up the middle. They're going to get 1 yard, and that'll be about it up to the 29-yard line. Third down and 9. Jarius Hawkins was the man on the carry. He usually plays the wing back when the Sharks have it in this formation. Pretty decent crowd out here tonight on homecoming for both Sharks students and family and faculty. Third down and 8 as they spotted the ball at the 30. Still in the wing tee. Killingsworth going to roll to his right. Look to throw. Scamper back to his left. Now takes off to the 30, 35, 40. First down and more up to the 45 and out of bounds near midfield. Killingsworth has speed when he gets to the open field, and it's going to be a first down for Atlantic. spot the ball right at midfield, a 21-yard scamper. Actually, they'll place the ball at the 49-yard line of Wildwood. This will be the second trip officially into Wildwood territory for the Sharks in the ball game. Got there on a 10-play drive. They got down inside the 40, but eventually were backed up by a combination of a penalty and a sack and had to punt it away. 8:33 and counting here in the third quarter. Once again, wing T strong side right. And there'll be a false start, flags all over the place as the right side of the offensive line moved before the left side. So instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15 as they move the ball back to Atlantic side of the field to the 46. Wildwood will look to continue their undefeated record next week against Trinity Catholic. On next Friday night, they'll be at home. First and 15 after the penalty. Killingsworth straight ahead. He's going to be wrestled down from behind as pressure from the backside got to Killingsworth before he had a chance to think twice about it. A loss of 3, and it's going to be 3rd down at 18. The Sharks are back in the wing T. I'm assuming to just run the clock out and just try and get to next week. Keep as many people healthy as you can. Here is 2nd down and 17. Handoff, wingback dive to Hawkins. He's going to lose a yard all the way back to the 31. He'll lose 2 yards, and it will be 3rd down and almost 20. Last year, Wildwood, a fantastic season, 9-2. Had easy, convincing wins over Bronson and Newberry in the playoffs before losing to the eventual 1A runner-up Hawthorne in the state quarterfinals. Third down and a long 19 for the Sharks from their own 41-yard line. And with the running clock, we've already had half the third quarter as we're down under 6 minutes to play. Snap to Killingsworth. He rolls to his left. Now he steps into the pocket, tries to run, and there's no way out the back door. He's just going to heave it down the field. He's going to be looking for a man out there. It's caught at the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Atlantic. Touchdown Sharks. How about that? They thought they had Killingsworth dead to rights. He scampered, he escaped, and he threw a long bomb down the field to a wide open receiver for a 70-yard almost touchdown for Atlantic, and the Sharks are on the board. Forgive my over-exuberation, because I didn't think we'd get this far tonight with the score being what it is. But the Sharks have found a way, John Killingsworth found a way to extend that play and throw a bomb. Jonquez Jamerson made the catch. He had the only touchdown reception last week as well. Here's the extra point. The extra point is blocked. Preston Kuznov is the kicker for Atlantic, and he could not get the ball past the on-rushing group of Wildwood Wildcats. But the Sharks are on the board. 4:30 and counting to go. It'll be Wildwood ball when we come back. It's Wildcats 30, Sharks 6. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. The Atlantic Sharks are on the board. A 60-yard touchdown pass to Jonquez Jamerson from John Killingsworth means it is 35-6 Wildwood. The extra point was blocked, so it is 6-0. And the kickoff is returned by Wildwood out past the 30 to the 32-yard line. That's where the Wildcats will have it with 3:36 to go in the third quarter. One thing that I don't want to say long drive for Atlantic. It was only 6 plays, but it took more than 3/4 of the third quarter clock away, from 12 minutes all the way down to about 3.5. And so the Wildcats, they threw the ball mostly in the first half with Harding to his favorite receivers, Vernell Brown and Zachariah Poyser. They are in 2-by-2, 2 left, 2 right. From their own 33, Harding back to pass. He's going to load up and fire. Pass caught and behind the defense of the 50, scampering through the defense to the Atlantic 40 and wrestled down right there. And what's almost more impressive than the Harding arm, and he's got a fantastic arm. Zachariah Poyser made the catch for the Wildcats, and the run was more impressive than the catch. It was just a simple hook route up to the far sideline, but then he made about 4 Sharks miss for a first down. Still 2-by-2 right hash. Ball at the Atlantic 41. Harding is going to step up and run to the 45 space to the 40. Going to slide down inside the 45 to the 42-yard line. Close to a first down. He's going to be about a yard short. Second down and 1 for Harding. That's his 3rd scamper of the ball game. Really only uses it as a last resort. Likes to work with his arm. Still 2-by-2. Cats working quickly. Here's the snap to Harding. Harding going to go down the left-hand sideline. It's going to be caught in between the defense, and breaking free for a touchdown is Jamari Dickens. And that was just as simple as you like. Simple crossing pattern across the middle. Dickens took it and ran away from 3 Sharks defenders untouched into the end zone for a 31-yard touchdown pass. And the Wildcats extend the lead. The extra point from Luna is no good. Missed it wide to the right. And the score will stand 41-6. And that should be the end of the third quarter. There's only 55 seconds and counting left in it. But that is the 5th passing touchdown of the night for John Harding. And he came in only with 4. And he doubled that in the first half. And now he had 2 big completions, a scramble on that last drive. And he's got some arm for only being a freshman. And there's 3 more years that Wildwood's opponents are going to have to worry about John Harding. We will head to the fourth quarter, third in the books here from Daytona Stadium. It's Wildcats 41, Atlantic Sharks 6. We'll take a break and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Caesar Luna kicks the ball away. It's going to bounce at the 20, be fumbled and just fallen on by the Atlantic deep man at the 20-yard line, and that is where the Sharks will have it. So they'll start at their own 20 as we begin the fourth quarter of action here. Sharks, once again, just looking to maybe try some new things out on offense, see if you can get some practice in for next week against Deltona. The Wolves beat the Sharks bad. It was 42-0, I believe, last year out at the home of the Wolves. And the Sharks will look to do better than that. And it's looking on the positive side here, this is not a district game, so there is a way. If the Sharks are competitive next week, there is still some way that that Atlantic could have a shot at the district, but they would have to get by Deltona, Bishop, Moore, and Seabreeze, or at least two of those three teams. Personally, I don't see it happening, but hey, you gotta believe. Timeout on the field, so we'll take a quick timeout up here. It's time you feel your best, physically, mentally, spiritually, to be centered and supported, to feel the power of a world-class healthcare network coming together to help you take control of your health. It's time to feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Want to get your business on the air in front of the Atlantic fans? If you would like to advertise via MJT Sports Productions, the official play-by-play internet radio partner of Atlantic High School, as a sponsor of Atlantic Athletics, please email AHS Athletic Director Shakia Brown at smbrown@volusia.k12.fl.us. That's SMBROWN at volusia.k12.fl.us. And your business could be on air with the Sharks. 1st and 10 for Atlantic at their own 20-yard line, going right to left. Wing T formation, strong side left. Killingsworth going to take the snap, going to try and run around to the left. He's got a lane, but he's pulled down from behind at the 21-yard line, only a gain of 1. Just a 1-yard pickup. And once again, not that it would have made the biggest difference in tonight's ball game, but the Sharks have turned the ball over twice. An interception thrown by Killingsworth and then a fumble dropped by Killingsworth in the first half. And Wildwood jumps off sides, and they're going to get a free 5 yards on Atlantic, so make that 2nd down and 4 instead of 2nd down and 9. Clock now under 10 minutes to go. And something I haven't mentioned, because I don't think I've called his name yet, he's been in and around a bunch of plays. Omari Smith, senior number 18, a linebacker for the Wildwood Wildcats, has an offer from Florida Community Christian College. So he'll be playing at the next level after this season. Wing T strong side right, 2nd down and 4 after the penalty. Direct snap to Killingsworth. He has a lane to the 30, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 34-yard line. Nice pickup of about 10, and a 1st down for the Sharks. First and 10 for the Sharks from their own 34, going right to left in this fourth quarter. 8:45 and counting to go in it. Strong side tee to the left. Killingsworth on the snap, running that way, looking for an edge block. Doesn't really get it. Going to try to reverse field, and he's going to be wrestled down all the way back inside the 35. It's another huge sack for Wildwood. That's their 3rd 10-plus yard sack of the night. It's going to move the chains all the way back to the Atlantic 24, so a loss of 10 yards. And so it'll be 2nd down and 20. And Killingsworth is down on the field for the 2nd time. And if I was Coach Bell, I would put in freshman Kwasi Kwaku to run the offense for the rest of the game. So we'll take a quick timeout here, 8:15 to go for the injury to Killingsworth. We'll hope he's all right. He is being tended to by the athletic staff. We'll take a quick break and be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Killingsworth being helped to the sideline. Freshman Kwasi Kwaku will be in to run the offense here. Clock continues to run, 8 minutes to go. Kwaku runs to the left, looks for a lane, won't find it, coughs up the football. Wildwood falls on it at the 20-yard line. It's another Sharks turnover. Allen Best falls on it for the Wildcats. And that's a tough one for Kwasi Kwaku, fresh into the game off the injury to John Killingsworth. And it will be Wildwood ball, 2nd fumble of the night. For Atlantic. Atlantic back on the defensive side of the ball. After Deltona, next Thursday, they head up to University Christian Jacksonville on the 8th before the 2nd of 3 straight road games in the second half of the season at Bishop Moore, Orlando. That's a district game. 6:57 to go. Wildwood back on offense. Harding in the gun and movement up front. Flag flies. And they're going to get a false start. That's the 3rd penalty of the night on Wildwood. There's been 5 penalties on Atlantic. And so that'll back up Wildwood to the 35-yard line, 1st down and 15. Harding, that is Vincent Brown in at quarterback, and he fires it across the left-hand side of the field. That pass is caught. Receiver pushed out of bounds inside the 20 and officially marked at the 15-yard line. So go for about a 11 or 12 yards up to the 25, 3rd down and 4. And we'll have a water break, so we'll take a quick timeout. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. 5:51 to go in the ballgame. Second and 5 for Wildwood from the 15-yard line. Brown in at quarterback, rolls to his left, shakes off a defender, and will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd down and 5. Vincent Brown Jr., who was the running back, is in at quarterback now for John Harding. Now 3rd and 5 from the 15. And Wildwood would change personnel. They're bringing on 4 new players. 3 receivers to the right, run to the left. Brown in at quarterback. Cole Brooks the running back. Brown takes the snap, drops back to pass, rolls to his right, being chased, fires towards the end zone, and he underthrew his intended receiver, who was Ricky Harding. And it is 4th down and 5 at the 15. Under 4:30 to go. Wildwood has one of the best all-around athletic programs in Class 1A. Their boys basketball team is the reigning state champs. Girls basketball and boys combined have won 4 state titles in the past 4 years. They are the Floyd E. Lay Sunshine Cup All-Sports Champions. That's given to the best 1A athletic program in the state of Florida. Hand off to Cole Brooks. Cole Brooks running left at the 10, cuts it up, gets inside the 10 to the 6, 1st down and goal. So on 4th down and 5, they give it to Cole Brooks, and he moves the chains.
First and goal, Wildwood at the 6-yard line. Students, one more reminder, if you need a ride, now's the time to make that call, drop that text.
And it's just been a fantastic game played on both sides of the football by the Wildcats from Wildwood. Brown looking, throwing too tall for his intended receiver at the back of the end zone, incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down and goal. Well, the Sharks had one good play tonight. A 60-yard touchdown pass from Killingsworth to Jonquez Jamerson. It was almost a mirror image of the touchdown pass Killingsworth threw last week against Pine Ridge. Late in the game to secure the win. He rolled to his left, was chased all the way to the sideline, then just heaved one down the field and found a receiver unopposed towards the end zone. Under 2.5 to go now. Brown the snap, looking, being chased back towards the 20-yard line to his left. Now throws to the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown for Wildwood. Jace McDonald makes the catch from Vincent Brown Jr. for the 7-yard touchdown pass. And Wildwood goes up 47-6. $1:30 to go, and they're on the field to go for 2, I believe. They're going to try that funky formation where they move everybody to the left except for the center. They snap the ball, swing gate, gonna float it to the back of the end zone. It's caught. And a 2-point conversion is good off a swing gate. And they went to the weak side right. So the score is 49-6, and I have to believe that will be the final score. With only 57 seconds left remaining, I don't think Wildwood will kick the ball off again. That just might be the end of the game. Next week, it's Sharks against the Deltona Wolves right here at Daytona Stadium That's again a Thursday night game on the 30th. So if you're looking to head to the game or listen right here on MJT Sports Productions, that's Thursday night, the 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Wildwood will be at home against Trinity Catholic next week as they look to continue their winning ways. That's the end of the ball game. Once again, your final score: Atlantic 6, Wildwood 49. 5 passing touchdowns for their freshman quarterback, John Harding. And we will see you all next week right here on MJT Sports Productions. Once again, your final score: Wildwood 49, Atlantic 6. This is Michael Trevillo signing off from Daytona Stadium. Thank you very much for listening and have a very pleasant good evening.